Mwebale ba memba sente zanja kwigaro haraha ho kwezi 10.
Reka tubali za sigara.
Box na yahora singa mtwaro gumu na siringi rukaga ngo na yahoramo.
Demo chama na yang wa demo chama.
The rural and vulnerable poor people finally have every reason to smile. The secret is the Village Savings and Loan Associations, the latest financial model designed to empower the rural poor and vulnerable communities to access credit and insurance out of their own savings without any external capitalization. If promoted, many more will rejoice, for they too will access the financial services they otherwise could not through the conventional financial models. Uganda, a country of infinite potential, an abundant natural resource base, diverse people and cultures forming different entities encircled within one boundary. Yet it remains one of the poorest in sub-Saharan Africa. Of its estimated 28 million people, almost 30% live below the poverty line. They cannot afford a decent meal a day. Hunger, poor health, high mortality and morbidity, crime, early pregnancies and low life expectancy are just a few of their enormous tribulations. Not even the strategies to provide them with the financial services, one of the central pillars in the development process, have been able to revamp the situation.
A lot of emphasis from the financial institutions is on loans, and yet the loan terms are not favorable for the very poor. They cannot afford, for instance, the collateral requirements of the formal banking institutions. The interest rates, which are quite high, loan application fees are also high, the complicated loan procedures, and then the loan size. Some of them are giving very high loan size as a startup, and yet the poor people may need loan as low as 2,000. The ones that would be able to serve the poor are like the microfinance institutions, but also the conditions of being in a group lending methodology which they are promoting, where if somebody fails to pay, you have to pay for the other people, and this also deprives the poor from their little income. So because of that, you find that the poor people have not really been served by the formal financial institutions, and that's where Care Uganda comes in with the Village Savings and Loans Association, where the poor people come together in a group of 20 to 30 people, mobilize their savings, set their own loan terms, and from the savings they own lend that savings.
So in other words, VSLAs offer three main products, namely insurance, savings and loans. The insurance service is built through a routine contribution into a welfare fund that enables members to access interest-free consumption loans to cater for emergencies like sickness, death, visitors and school requirements. The savings provide members with an opportunity to access productive loans which they invest into income-generating activities to improve their livelihood. VSLAs started in 1978 in Niger and were introduced to Uganda in 1998. CARE Uganda, in partnership with the Consultancy for Rural Enterprise Activities Management, CREAM, a local civil society organization, established VSLAs on a pilot scale in Yumbe and Moyo districts. The impact was tremendous, and so in 2003, CARE scaled up the model, bringing on board the West Nile Private Sector Development Promotion Center, WENIPS, to cover the entire West Nile region.
Right now, we have formed so many groups in Nebi, Arua, and Manachaterego. So far, we have formed 663 groups. That is by end of May, and out of these groups, we have 17,300 members, and these members have so far saved 208.7 million, and the cumulative loans that they have accessed is amounts to 427.3 million. Now this shows that even a poor person can save. You may find that people are saving a volume from 200 to 1,000 shillings per week, but they have been able to accumulate that saving.
With this outstanding success, the model was scaled up to cover the entire country. CARE International works with organizations already working with the grassroots communities. It trains program officers and later community-based trainers who in turn train the community with skills in starting and managing the village saving and loan associations.
We conduct a 6 days in-house training. Here we focus on the VSLA methodology and what the job of the community-based trainers is all about. After that, we give them a period of 2 months to go down and have hands on the work. Then we go out to the implementing organization and conduct a mentoring and follow-up activity with each trainer, seeing exactly what they are doing. Then after that, we are going in the field, trying to find out how they are doing it. As we interact with them and through their monthly reports, we get to identify the gaps. Sometimes we find it's necessary to take them again in the work through the methodology. We organize what we call refresher courses. Sometimes the main area that we focus on are the common asked questions. Discuss with them and give them more convincing answers that they can give to their different communities that will enable them continue promoting the methodology. So after those refresher trainings, these trainers can go out in the community, do the implementation without any external support.
The community-based trainers are selected from communities where they are to operate. They mobilize the communities to form groups that will, after rigorous training, form the Village Saving and Loan Association. The training is a 6-module curriculum spread into 3 phases. The entire exercise lasts between 8 to 12 months. The first phase is 12 weeks, designed to fit within the community's schedule.
They have 1.5 hour session once in a week. They are trained on group dynamics, how to elect their committee and records as well, and how to manage their savings and credit.
After this, the communities start saving under intensive supervision of the community-based trainer and the program officers to ensure that what they learnt in the first phase is implemented as required. It is in this development phase that members start to save. When the money accumulates, interested members start accessing loans upon approval from the group. Take a case of Richard Olweng in Panimol sub-county under the WENIPS. He dropped out of school and went fishing. When he learnt about this opportunity, he joined a VSLA where he got training not only in aspects of group dynamics but also in improving his business.
Before I joined this village bank, I was extremely very poor. There was nothing I could save. But the moment I joined, they have given me a loan. I've started a small fishing enterprise, which has given me a lot of profit at the moment. And I'm not even alone. We have also some of our friends who have joined the same, and they are doing well. I'm saving a lot of money, my friend.
Katani kampora sente butaito yoto twashira hagati sente twara zagenda nze yongeraho nikanyaho abantu atandika kuyihoza nyo nataha abakozi muka kungore mirimo yange kulima naki narora hati ekyo kulima cyagire kityanyongeraho kana abana bange basoma kurungi.
In one incident, it was dramatic to see members blocking a colleague who wanted to take a loan to wed. They do not compromise with members who do not turn up for meetings, but even more important, are quite stern with those who are not consistent in paying back the loans.
Ronald senda zintwekere zimu abege n'obujunanizibwa mugo kutiyeija.
Village savings and loan associations are made and owned by the people. They run them and shoulder the risks, but most important, they are the ones who finally get all the benefits. They choose the members, and most important, they choose their leaders using very simple but transparent avenues. Take a case of this VSLA in West Nile under Wenips. The communities use small stones and different colors of cups to elect their leaders. Atimango Mary chooses the green cup and Olul Santo the blue one. They are vying for the treasurership of the association. The members one by one cast their vote. Olul wins with a narrow margin of 1 vote, getting 15 votes over 14. He now takes the responsibility of the safety of the money raised through savings, interest on loans, fines and the welfare fund. As already observed, all the money is raised by the members on agreed amount and date of the meeting. Group members are issued with passbooks where their contributions are recorded. All the money and the records are kept in a metallic safe. The safe has 3 locks and the keys are kept by 3 different people to minimize the chances of conspiracy. These are charged with opening the safe at the beginning of every meeting and locking up at the end. Whereas members can only apply for loans during the meeting, the welfare fund can be accessed anytime as long as the person in need is able to present members to bear him or her witness.
We have some welfare which we always deposit there 500. So whenever I have a problem in the house whereby I lack something, I can go and borrow that welfare and I use. I had a problem of taking some children to school. I went and requested my group members, then we were able to get that money to take the children to school. When my salary came, I had to come and refund that money.
Today, the entire country has almost 120,000 members, of whom almost 85,000 are female. They are spread in almost 5,000 groups in 33 districts of Uganda. Their financial standing is also surprisingly high.
These groups have mobilized a cumulative savings value totaling 3.7 billion, and the cumulative loan value is totaling to 6.9 billion.
The other striking feature is their high rate to pay back the loans, with the portfolio at risk standing at a mere 5%.
My interest of 20,000, so it is here, and my 200.
The empowerment grows as the training continues. The second phase lasts up to 16 weeks, while the third, also known as the maturity phase, lasts 12 weeks. By now, the association has become more independent, adhering to and freely implementing all the modules. Again, the program officer keeps a keen eye on the association but reduces the number of visitations to the group. At 12 months, the first savings cycle matures and the members can now graduate and share out all their savings. At this point, the members can now choose to regroup or to disband. But experience has shown that no group has ever disbanded after the first cycle. They regroup and usually increase their share value because now their sources of income have grown. Some of the members who choose to opt out of the group are replaced by new ones who are willing to abide by the constitution of that VSLA.
What happens during the action audit or the share out day is that we have all the passbooks of the members collected together, and they have to count out how many stamps are there in all these passbooks. One reason why we use the stamps is actually to simplify the calculations, and those stamps stand at the value of the saving. For example, if the group had 500 as the savings value, when you count 500 stamps, you know that is 500 shillings times the 500 stamps. And the second step is to count how much cash is in the box. Now, the total cash in the box is divided over the total number of stamps in the group. More often than not, it gives a new value, and this new value is higher than the previous savings value, which in our example was 500 shillings. You might find that this new value is now 700 shillings. That means that every 500 shillings that was put in the group has earned a profit of 200 shillings. Each member has a number of stamps which had already been counted. Like for me revealed, if I had 50 stamps and Anna had 70 stamps, we are going to multiply my 50 stamps times 700 shillings, which is now the new value of the stamp. Meanwhile, Anna goes away with 70 times 700 shillings instead of 500 shillings. So that's how they share out the money, which we have found is a simplified way of sharing it out rather than going in through other complex ways of sharing.
Overall, village saving and loan associations have been able to transform the livelihoods of the vulnerable people in the rural areas, particularly where the training modules have been internalized, as we now share.
Abagaine twatunga sente zaiti nyonga tunga mtwaro yange munana kani mpasi ngizange 10 chonko bana tungire na chwa mtwara yange 5 na gurahe ntama yange na hatiyero muka hata nagakwa mu mundu gwa kabiri hata nahure kitebe kinwene nchienda tuletire birungi tuletire kusemererwa tuletire bintu birungi kitwimukize mukikaro cyetu cyakisana
kola sino aki kumsia na bula kaya kama duaka aga musiana ni mi ario kipia na ya biero awilo kola eni kieni ya rio pap eni kile ya biero bakap eni kile ya bakap eni kile ya liwader atebo eni Matiap ini sih yang libat dah kami habis, lukar ini sih yang libat rio kami habis, malu ini sih yang libat cian kami habis, ayah, cuan ini kaya rio sih yang libat cian kami habis, kata saya ini sih yang libat cian, this ini cili, libat cian kami abor kaya rio. Kikobe eni tieno kisete ti ngali baboro mogo mate ya ngie
no hunya huyo mwaka gumu twala yange 15 ndimise takuli ebitoke jono ende vege nkajugura sente stinso kuzahura habwange pete kibina ndo nkinyahura hata naye mkuna goboro ile munti.
In Chenjojo district, western Uganda, some village saving associations have been able to undertake communal activities.
Usually, before the meeting, the weekly session starts, the chairman and the members agree on an agenda. But in most of the groups, you find as the last item on the agenda, they discuss issues of development. For example, they may have a problem of water. Maybe their shallow well is collapsed. So you find they discuss on how, from strategies of how they can have that shallow well repaired. They may have a bad section of the road, so they may decide to discuss on how they can, communally work on that road. I've seen that one work in Kyarsozi sub-county at a place called Insinde.